Harris gets some contact there, going deep left. It's going. And that ball is history.
Shot clock down to 10. They're looking for the alley-oop, and Waylon Newton.
Yeah, with the shot. And
What a goal.
Swung on, hit hard. Sam Smith going back. It's out of here. Berlin set Bowie. Gets down for the kill. Courtney Bowie.
Abby Boyd going to take a three. Yes, sir.
Robinson finds Disney. Disney inside the box at the top.
Goal! It's Storm! It's over! The Crimson Storm have won!
You good?
It happens. Okay. You ready to pick up? 3, 2.
Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Once again, we apologize for the technical difficulties. It's week 1, and we always seem to have something go wrong here in the box, whether it's an Ethernet connection or simply the audio just going out. So we're working here. Just week 1, still early. We'll get it going here. So like as we were talking about, Harding comes in to this ball game after picking up a win last week against Oklahoma Baptist. They ran for 389 yards as part of a 439 total yard performance for the Bison. They averaged 5.7 yards per carry. You talked a little bit about the triple option that they run. Mm-hmm. So difficult to stop for defenses around the GAC. Zach Shelley led the way with 71 yards and a touchdown on 8 carries, while Michael Latu had 67 yards and quarterback Park Parrish had 64 yards. So that's a little bit about Harding. So Connor, give our viewers a little bit of a taste about what SNU maybe has to offer coming into this one.
Well, SNU, what they got to offer is just a stout offensive line headed by John Clark and Mr. Will House, a couple of kind of powerhouse on the offensive line across the GAC, and some studs at wide receiver. Derek Gillis coming in off injury last year after he transferred in this year. And this year we got a new receiver on the outside as well, Reese Carlson, who transferred from University of Montana, in the start here today, this afternoon. And quarterback offerings is fantastic. Got great experience with Jacob Spade and Alec LaFoon. A lot of offensive firepower for the Southern Nazarene Air Raid offense.
Absolutely. Alec LaFoon sat out last week due to a shoulder injury that he's continuing to nurse, and we have confirmed that Alec LaFoon is down on the sideline and he is in shoulder pads, and I believe he is expected to play in tonight's matchup against Harding. So it'll be interesting to see how Coach Lambert kind of rotates LaFoon and Jacob Spady kind of around in that mix. Last week, Jacob Spady ran for 74 yards on 7 carries, threw for 30 yards, and was 6 for 8. SNU had 163 yards of total offense on the day, with 133 of those coming on the ground. Their defense, though, usually tends to be one of the areas of struggle for the Crimson Storm. They gave up 491 yards as Arkansas Tech had 287 through the air and 204 on the ground. SNU had just 2 turnovers and didn't give up any points off of any of those, so it'll be kind of crucial, I believe, Connor, for SNU to kind of continue to take care of the ball in this one.
Absolutely, Tanner. You're right on point there. They got to be able to set the tone early against a stout team of Harding, who went undefeated just a couple seasons ago and went 7-4 last year, finishing 3rd in the conference, I believe. So it's just going to be a tall order here if they're able to maintain the tempo and dictate how they're going to play here on this opening day here at Southern Nazarene's field. We'll see how things fare for them. If they can keep the ball on the ground and pound them in between the tackles.
Absolutely. So a little bit about the series now between Southern Nazarene and Harding. It's been pretty lopsided since the Southern Nazarene Crimson Storm joined the Great American Conference back in 2012. Harding downed SNU 42-13 in the first meeting in Bethany before picking up a 63-21 win in Searcy, Arkansas in 2013. The Storm, though, have yet to score on the Bisons in the past 2 seasons, so they're just looking to get on the board, really, coming out of this one early. So we'll see if that will be the case. The 16th-ranked Bisons won 58-0 in 2014 in Bethany before number 19 Harding won 42-0 in last year's game in Searcy. Talk a little bit about the how SNU kind of fares at home coming into this one, Connor.
Well, SNU has been involved in a handful and then some of thrillers here in Bethany, Oklahoma, in this fantastic facility here, as I said, in Bethany. Crimson Storm are 7-9 all-time in home openers and are looking for their first home win since the 2011 season, when SNU knocked off then number 21 NAIA-ranked Kansas Wesleyan 52-23. So this team was able to put up some points just recently. Let's look to see if they can continue that trend here. We're into the program's first appearance in the NAIA Championship Series, so look to see how they can do. And on this day, SNU is 2-0 in all-time in games played on this day, so they do have something boding well for them. They are undefeated on this day, as we see here. We'll see if they can continue that undefeated streak, as their first win came in a 17-16 absolute thriller against Oklahoma Panhandle State in 2005. SNU led 17-7 before OPSU scored 9 in the third quarter to cut it to 1. The Storm, though, shut out the Aggies in the fourth to take the win. The other win on this day came in 2011 in a 63-0 blowout. Anytime you could shut out any opponent 20-plus points is an absolute accomplishment for your football program. They blew out Haskell of Kansas, and Wadey Wardlaw threw for 229 yards and 4 touchdowns as SNU totaled 508 yards of offense. So they do have that boding well for them in this day here. Undefeated. We'll see if they can continue that trend here against Harding.
Big day for football coming up here in Bethany, so we're going to take a break, about 40 minutes to kick off. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll hear from head coach Andy Lambert, who sat down with a member of the GAC, give an interview. We'll get that for you right after the break.
It's time for the Great American Conference Football Countdown Show. As the GAC previews each of the 12-member schools, here's your host for today's show, Michael Westbrook.
Welcome to our Countdown to Kickoff interview series. Today I'm visiting with Andy Lambert. He's the head coach of Southern Nazarene University, entering his first season. Coach, first of all, welcome to the Great American Conference. And can you just tell us what the last 7-8 months have been like for you in this transition?
Well, thank you for the welcome. It's been fantastic. We can't wait to kind of get involved in the conference and get to know these coaches better and, some of the programs. We're going to be visiting a lot of towns that I've not been to, in Arkansas at least, and so that's exciting for me. Our conference in Kansas was really just local. I mean, man, we might have had a 3-hour trip, 3.5 at the furthest, and so this will be a lot of fun, I think, just going to new campuses and experiencing new environments, at home games. So, it's hard to think back 7-8 months ago. I'm trying to think even what that was all like, moving down without the family. I had a daughter who was a senior at the town where we were, and so she stayed, and then my wife and other daughter came down about 30 days after I moved. So I was batching it for a while, and then we were in a rental for, 30, 45 days, and then finally got a house. And so we have loved Oklahoma City. And obviously, Southern Nazarene University is a special place to be. So, I just couldn't have been more pleased with those transitional kind of things the last 8 months.
I'm glad things are going well there for you, Coach. There will be some changes this year, but you do have a guy who has created some stability for this team. That's John Clark on the offensive line. Can we talk about him and the impact he's had for Southern Nazarene?
Well, I think the impact is, still to be seen, because I think it's long-lasting. I think it's deeper probably than any of us realize. The key, I think, to that has just been his concern for other people on the team. I mean, he is sort of the key that, unlocks some things. So, we have this really nice Division II caliber offensive line coming back, and he's sort of the go-to guy in that. He is a fantastic student, full of character. I think he won the Mr. SNU contest last spring. I didn't attend. Hopefully it didn't have anything to do with a Speedo swimsuit contest or anything, but obviously he's a talented guy who sort of transcends all of the different kind of cultures and different cliques on the team. So he's just been wonderful to have in the program, and really look to him as almost a coach within that locker room setting.
Well, in your offensive line, as we visit with Andy Lambert, head coach of Southern Nazarene University, we'll obviously be protecting the quarterback, and that's an area that's always discussed with college football. So what does the quarterback position look like for you this year?
That's a great question, and I don't know what to tell you. We will be bringing in 4 other quarterbacks, I think, in our freshman class on scholarship, and 3 others that possibly could have been on scholarship. Maybe they were late additions and or for whatever reason have walked on, academically. Plus our 2 returners, and both returners have played some in the past. And so we're just kind of throwing that all in the mix and seeing what comes out at the end. But it is, if not the key, one of the top priorities for our team this year is to find a guy who is dual threat at some level, and then is going to be able to take care of the football and not turn it over. We just can't have the ball going to the other team regardless of the context.
And then on the other side of the ball, Coach, on defense, you have a senior corner, Derek Carmouche. I know he's been also, we're talking about stability, provided some of that the last couple of seasons. Can you talk about him and kind of what your expectations are for him this season?
Well, again, kind of like John on the offensive side, we have several of these guys who came in as freshmen and have been with the team through some of those, at least record-wise, agonizing seasons. And, just think about the character and resolve and confidence that these guys have had to stay here through all of that and to stay positive. One of the greatest surprises for us when we came in as staff in January was how positive and sort of fresh the returning players were. They're wonderful guys, and to have come through all that they've been through and to still be ultra positive, what a great foundation to start laying for the future.
It kind of leads to my next question a little bit. Southern Nazarene was able to finish the year in 2015 with a win after a long losing streak. I realize you weren't the coach. Some of those players are even gone from a year ago. But does that win carry over in any way for the 2016 season?
Well, I think that's hard to know. I do know that I've been told by an administrator or two here at college, and certainly have talked some with the players about it, but it was quite an emotional experience, and I think that it may have in that way been important for the program to move on. The impact that it has on us playing our first game on September 1st, I highly doubt that there'll be anything that we are carrying from that game, physically or mentally, that would sort of help propel us to success on September 1st. But, with that being said, I also want to acknowledge the significance of it, the sort of emotional blockage that it may have helped, unblock. And so while I think at the time, and to many of the hearts of the young men on our team, it was extremely important, I just don't know the kind of bearing that it will have, as we go out into the season.
How do you go about your daily routine to create some stability for the Crimson Storm?
Yeah, I think stability is, a term that we actually don't use a lot. I think I understand what you're saying. Are we going to have a coach and assistant coaches and coordinators and systems that stay the same and have consistency, and we can build foundations and then build on top of that. So with that being said, you just hope that coaches stay around. And I haven't been a climber. My goodness, I've been a college coach for 26 years, and this is my third school. So it's not like I'm looking to fast track something somewhere else or whatever. So I think in that sense, we do have some long-term assistants, particularly, the two coordinators, and my background is certainly staying and trying to build a program into something respectable. So I think with that, the stability is good, but I also want to, communicate with our team that in some ways we're trying to create chaos. I mean, we have to learn how to compete in crisis. We have to learn how to adjust when things don't go our way. Our schedule for our early season camp, we just tried to kind of give them one day at a time and not always know exactly what's going to happen the next day. So I think in terms of longevity of the staff, consistency of our systems, stability, but the way that we want to put in our scheme and the way we want to practice, I would say instability, which in that case is a good thing for us.
Andy Lambert, the head coach of Southern Nazarene University, and I wish you the best of luck this year.
Man, we'll take all of that we can get, and thank you very much for your support and time.
GreatAmericanConference.com is your home for scores, stats, and standings. For additional information, follow on Twitter @GAC Athletics. This has been an exclusive presentation of the Great American Conference. It's time for the Great American Conference Football Countdown Show. As the GAC previews each of the 12-member schools, here's your host for today's show, Joey McWilliams.
Our countdown to kickoff takes us now to Searcy, where we get to visit with Ronnie Huckabee, the head coach of the Harding Bisons. And, Coach, big news broke a couple of weeks ago with the announcement that this season would be your final season as the head coach in Harding. Can you take us through that decision?
Joey, that has been a process. There are a lot of things that have gone into that decision, and, beside the fact that I wanted to make sure that I coached with energy and passion and in good health to the end of my coaching career. I've never wanted to be that guy that didn't know when it was time to step away. And we all have watched TV, and we've seen that play out for us very vividly, with different scenarios as far as coaching is concerned. So that was part of the issue. Another part is, I'm really, honestly, I'm not chasing any records. There's a whole lot more to coaching here at Harding than W's and L's, although that's important. It's in the big picture of things. Our mission is to invest in the lives of these young men and mentor them and to help them to be productive citizens and good daddies and good husbands, and that's by far the most important thing to us. Now, obviously, we believe that if you get all that stuff right, then you got a chance to win too, as long as you have some talent. And so I haven't been. I'm not chasing any records, and the other thing is that I have a dynamite successor in Paul Simmons. And, Paul has been my guy. I coached him. I performed his wedding. He's been coaching with me and has been my right-hand man since I took the head job here. And, he is going to do a fantastic job going forward. And it's just, do everything there is a season. And this season is the time for me to finish my coaching career here at Harding, and I am looking forward to it with great anticipation for a lot of reasons.
All right. Well, Coach, with football season being as close as it is right now, I know everybody's ready to get back out on the field. So let's talk about really quickly then. Let's go back 1 year to 2015. I know people probably with this talk are already thinking ahead a little bit to 2017. 2016 is right here, but just quickly about 2015. 4 losses last year, 7-4 on the year. Those losses were by an average of 5.3 points per loss. No loss by more than 1 score. Each of them, at least by Harding's scoring standards, were in relatively low-scoring games. What do you take from last season to bring into this year?
Well, last year, Joey, we were coming off a fantastic year in 2014 with a very veteran, senior-laden football team. And we had a lot of new faces last year, and we hung on barely against Oklahoma Baptist in our first game. Just had a barn burner with those guys, and we played inconsistently last year, which I think sometimes is characteristic of a very young football team. But the good news is that we have 19 guys coming back that have started football games for us here at Harding, and a very talented football team with great leadership. And so, we looked at last year as a learning year for a lot of our players. And also, I think it's an indication of our expectations when you look at 7-4 and say that was really a bad year. That was not a good year. And for some of the reasons you talked about, we lost some games by a very close margin. We lost some games late. We were a fantastic road team in 2013 and 14. Actually, 12, 13, and 14. We were really good on the road. And this past year, 3 of those 4 losses were on the road, and and in the fourth quarter. So we took that as an opportunity to learn and get better and improve, and we worked really hard on it over the course of the off season regarding finishing, and then in the spring we had an emphasis on fundamentals and just being better at the little things, and feel great about it going into this season.
Well, Coach, specifically one player in particular, Park Parrish, he's a senior this year, and I know that you've had a number of good quarterbacks over the years. Parrish seems to fit the role of quarterback in your triple option offense so very well. Can you talk about him and the offense?
Park he's an ideal triple option quarterback. He's very smart. He is a student of the game. He's really durable, which is huge in this offense. He's a strong runner. He can run through tackles, but he's got enough speed to hit a home run for you. And he's got a really good arm. Now, we were inconsistent at times throwing the ball last year, and we got to be more consistent this year. But last year was Park's first year as a starter, and he grew a lot. And we are looking forward to him leading our football team and our offense this year in a great way.
Speaking now with Coach Ronnie Huckabee from Harding. Coach, because of the unique nature of the offense, that triple option that you all run, often conversation about your team is about that offense, but you all have a very solid defense as well. Tops in the conference last year in rushing defense, and you gave up only 9 passing touchdowns as well. I know the defense really is a big part of what happens in Searcy as well.
I think that's the pivotal group. There are going to be some times in this offense where, people do a great job defending you, and the more our opponents
Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Tanner Stiles alongside my partner Connor McKenzie. Just about 15 minutes away from kickoff here, but right now we're going to send it down to our sideline reporter for tonight's ballgame, Cheyenne Reynolds, with us here for the first time on the broadcast. Cheyenne, how's it going?
Hey guys, it's going great. It's a beautiful sunny day. Crowd is coming in, so looks like a great evening for football.
Cheyenne, give us a little bit of an injury report as of right now. I know there's some players that are questionable to play. You've been down there kind of going through warm-ups. Talk a little bit about what's going on.
Yeah, so Terrence Oltz, player number 34, had a knee injury. He is suited up, so he's looking good. I think it's going to be a matter of time to see if he gets in the game and see what he can do. We also have Alec Lafoum, number 7, quarterback. And with the shoulder injury, he was throwing, and he's looking good. So I think we're just got to wait and see.
Thank you so much for that update, Cheyenne. She'll be down there on the sidelines for the majority of the game tonight, so if we need an update down there, we'll get down to Cheyenne for it. So, like I said, Connor, it's about 15 minutes away from kickoff here. Let's break this ball game down. SNU versus Harding. What's something maybe that's going to stick out to you early off in this ball game?
Well, it's really a matter of being able to set the tone. If they're able to establish a physical front on the defensive front, they could bode well for the Crimson Storm, as that rushing attack and that triple option offense for Harding has just dominated teams for the last couple of years. So if they're able to set the tone on the defensive front with guys like Maureen Belichick and Zach Lloyd coming off the edge, you could put some pressure on these running backs and this offensive line.
Yeah, absolutely. You talked about the defense. I think that's going to be critical, as well as the offense. We talked about in the pregame a little bit. SNU has not scored on Harding the last 2 seasons of playing them, so I think it'll be huge for this Crimson Storm team if they can really get out early and move the ball down the field and eventually just get points on the board. I mean, anything I think will help this Crimson Storm offense really just kind of gain some momentum. I think that they're going to need, Connor.
I think you're right, Tanner. It also will put a good spotlight for the Crimson Storm faithful that come out here to support these ball games every Saturday, and we got a brand new marching band featured being during our halftime show today, so it's going to be a pretty entertaining day either in the football side and the halftime show for the Crimson Storm.
We're looking forward to it. So some other sports in SNU going on right now. Volleyball, women's soccer. They're actually in San Diego right now for a tournament. Volleyball's down in Texas. Connie, you want to give a little bit of update on SNU sports right now?
Absolutely. Our women's volleyball team had an incredible weekend. Went 3-1 this weekend out in Wichita Falls at the MSU Hampton Inn Classic. They won 3-2 sets against St. Edwards, 3-0 against Cameron, 3-0 against Fort Lewis this morning, and this afternoon they swept against Division I talent Dallas Baptist. So the Crimson Storm just doing a fantastic job. One of the top teams in the conference. Had a chance to make it through the GAC tournament last year. Just couldn't quite get it done in the quarterfinals, but this year they're picked to be one of the top 3 teams this season. So look forward to supporting our Crimson Storm. Their first home game will be September 20th, next Tuesday, I believe. So come out and support at the Sawyer Center in Bethany, Oklahoma. Women's soccer, as Tanner said, was out against Cal San Marcos. That's a handful of a name to say, as they started 0-2 this year against Central Oklahoma and Cal State San Marcos. And later on, I believe it's today, they started at 3 or 4 o'clock. They play against Point Loma Nazarene, our sister Nazarene school. So we'll keep you updated as those scores go out underway. Men's soccer also started off kind of a rough year. Dropped an 0-1 game against Rogers State. A tough battle, left off a late goal for the 1-0 loss. And then followed by a 4-2 loss against other teams they played. And they played in a late game that was rescheduled against Newman, lost 3-0, I believe. So the Crimson Storm soccer team's off to a bit of a rocky start, but it's always good potential throughout the season. They play stymied defense. Brianna Evans for our women's soccer team is just a tough cookie to crack, and we'll see if she's able to continue and hold that and anchor that Crimson Storm defense. Women's golf was also in action. They had a bit of a rocky start. They started off 11th in tournament play just past Thursday. And Tanner, I believe you had the coverage on that sport. How did our women do?
I did. They, as you said, it was kind of a rough start there. But the second day they did a little bit better. They believe they finished 15th place in that tournament. But, they had 3 freshmen lead the way for them. They got some good young talent. Head coach Derek Taylor just raving about those freshmen right now on the women's team. So they're actually going to be back in action this next week, Monday, Tuesday, up in Tahlequah in the NSU Classic. So keeping up to date on that, SNUathletics.com. as well as our men's team. I believe the men's golf team kicks off this week too. I believe right here in Oklahoma City at the Great American Conference Preview at Lake Hefner Golf Course. So, as you said, it's just one of those times now. Sports are back in action.
Absolutely.
Home opener in football. Volleyball's already kicking off their first home game. Coming up in just a couple of weeks, men's, women's soccer. It's back in action, partner.
Absolutely. It's good to be back here at SNUathletics.com alongside our partners Tanner Styles and our man John Hale in the booth. He's not on the broadcast today. He's our faithful camera operator. We look to see some good action shots and highlight plays from our man John.
All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have a little bit more insight on the ball game as well as kickoff. It's almost time here on SNUathletics.com. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Tanner Styles alongside Connor McKenzie. As you can see, coin toss commencing right there at center. 50-yard line. Captain for SNU is number 13, Andrew McClung, 5'10" sophomore from Washington, Oklahoma. Captains for Harding out there, number 55, Eric Mitchell, number 94, Cordell Zielinski. Number 15, Park Parrish, the quarterback, and number 44, Dalen Skidmore. As SNU has just taken the field, so Harding has won the toss and has deferred to the second half, so that means the Crimson Storm will be getting the ball to begin this ball game here at Bethany Stadium. Connor, talked a little bit about it in the pregame, but what's one particular thing you're looking for this Crimson Storm team now as they start on offense to kind of kickstart them in this ball game?
Well, one thing I'm looking for is I want them to try to establish the run game early on against this Harding defense. They are a fairly stout defense, but I think if you're able to pound the ball just enough against any team, you can wear them down. Bode well for you going forward in the game and just wear down that defensive run.
Absolutely. Harding they've always been known for dominating on the running the ball, I should say. So we'll see if SNU's defense can get going, but they're going to get the ball first here to get things started.
Man, the energy is absolutely electric here at Bethany Football Stadium. A lot of Storm faithful bouncing around, painting all sorts of different colors. They're hyped for some football.
Beautiful evening for some football. 78 degrees right now. Wind blowing out of the north from 12 miles an hour. You can't ask for a better temperature out here as the Bisons getting ready to kick it off here. And we are underway. Back deep to receive for the Crimson Storm was number 84.
Derek Arlington for the Crimson Storm. That ball sails out of bounds. Touchback. Crimson Storm will start with the ball on their own 20.
And as we see down there, buckling his helmet is number 7, Alec LaFoon. The 5'11 senior from Fort Worth, Texas. And this is his 6th season here. He redshirted 1 year and then got a medical redshirt another. But he is back and ready to go. LaFoon and Terrence Olds out there for the Crimson Storm. LaFoon going to start in the shotgun here. He's going to take the snap. It's going to be a design QB run. LaFoon up the middle. He's got some room. Out across the 30 to the 35. A 9-yard pickup for LaFoon.
Great start for the Crimson Storm. That's what Alec LaFoon can bring to the table. He may be smaller than a lot of quarterbacks, but he's got a burst of speed that can burn any defense.
It's going to be enough to move the chains, so it's going to be a 10-yard rush there for LaFoon. Down here at the bottom of your picture, number 1, Jonathan Martin, one of the team's leading receivers, back. Ready for another big year. LaFoon now lined up in the pistol. Hands off to Terrence Olds up the middle. And the Harding defense ready for him there. The host bringing him down after no pickup there.
Yeah, again, the Crimson Storm trying to establish that running game right up the gut, but the big defensive line for Harding just snuffed that one out and sent him back and gained him 0, looks like, on the play.
So 2nd and 10 here from the 35. LaFoon screen pass out here to the right of Jonathan Martin, and he was hit instantly over there on the right side.
It looked like a missed block on the play from the tight end Pearson Wall, just trying to catch that outside corner, but he's able to slip the block and make the tackle for no gain. 3rd and 10 coming up for the Crimson Storm.
It was Corey Bassett on the tackle for Harding, the 5'8 senior from Plano, Texas, one of the team's leading tacklers from a year ago. And like you said, it's 3rd and 10 here for the Crimson Storm. So looks like they're still trying to get things set here. LaFoon stands in the shotgun. Snap clock at 2. He's got to hurry here, and I don't think he's going to get the play off.
He does not. It looks like they may have tried to call a timeout.
Head coach Andy Lambert, I don't know if he was trying to get a timeout down there, but
it looks like they'll just take the 5-yard penalty for a late game. Not what you were looking for on an opening drive. They start out with a great burst of speed for a first down, but then back up 5 yards to 3rd and 15.
Yeah, it's these penalties that can kill you early, and so SNU now faces 3rd and 15. So play clock running again. It's down to 3, under 2. They just get the play off. LaFoon taking a shot down the left side. He's got a man. Ooh! And the fans wanting pass interference down here. The pass was intended for Reese Carlson.
Good night.
A 6'4" sophomore from Gig Harbor, Washington.
I'm not sure how you cannot call a pass interference, but he was all up in Carlson's face and head was not even close to looking at the football.
You know, Connor, they actually changed that rule a couple years ago of the defensive back. If his back is turned towards the ball and he makes any kind of contact, it's pass interference because he's not making a play on the ball. Oh, and this could be bad right here. The snap on the punt was taken by number 10, Carlos Anguiano, and I think his knee was down when he caught that punt at the 19-yard line, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So just an unfortunate series of events here for the Crimson Storm early in this one.
Good night. Harding starting with the football in fantastic territory. Not a good start for the Crimson Storm, as you said, Tanner. The Crimson Storm defense got to come out on all cylinders here.
So Harding takes over here with just 18 yards to go. Already in the red zone here. As Park Paris lines up under center, 5'10" senior from Clinton, Arkansas. Harding has it here. Going to run the option here. They hand off inside to, I believe their big fullback in there.
Looks like number 9 for
Michael Latou. We talked about him in pregame. Latou's a big man in there, 5'10", 235.
Good night.
They pick up 4 on that carry. Second 6 from the 14, Parrish under center. Hands it to Latou again in there, up the middle. And he's going to pick up, I believe, about 2 or 3 yards, so it's going to be 3rd and short coming up for Harding.
Trying to run Harding to the field goal. His opening possession deep in SMU territory.
So here we go, 3rd and 2 from the 10, Harding.
No adjustment here from the Harding Bisons. What they do, they make adjustment after adjustment on the play.
Parrish takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself, and he's going to get the first down plus more. Out across the right side, and he reaches over, and that's going to be a touchdown for Harding.
There's a dangerous game there with the quarterback keeper. That triple option offense, you never know who's going to get the fullback, the tailback pitch out, or the quarterback keeper, and he's able to take it and break the tackle or the score.
So it's going to be a 10-yard scamper there from Park Parrish to put Harding on the board first here. Here comes the extra point up. And it is good. So 11 left here in the first quarter after the punt attempt by SNU. Anguiano's knee was down inside the 20. As he took the punt, it resulted in great field position. Harding capitalized. It's 7-0 here early at SNUathletics.com. We'll take a break. We're back here at SNUathletics.com after Harding was able to capitalize on the great field position, holding the Crimson Storm there. And they were capitalized, so 7-0 here as Tristan Parsley set to line it up here to kick it away. Here's a score update. Earlier today in the GAC, Oklahoma Baptist was able to defeat Arkansas Tech 19-15, and that is a huge win for the Oklahoma Baptist Bison, taking down the Wonder Boys. That Wonder Boys was the one who beat SNU last week. So the kickoff goes once again deep into the end zone, and SNU not even going to touch it. So we'll come back out. It'll be a new set of downs here for the Crimson Storm. We'll see if they can reconnect here.
Yeah, the Crimson Storm had a great start. A 10-yard run from Alec Lafune off the quarterback keeper, but just a couple of plays that just didn't go nowhere on whether a screen roll pass or run up the middle. It was a nice throw towards Reese Carlson, but pass defended well by Harding and just resulted in a punt attempt by the Crimson Storm. And unfortunately, Carlson relied with a lead touchdown and the punt to stay back here. Now with the Crimson Storm on their second go-around.
So here's Lafune back in the shotgun again here. Screen pass out to Jonathan Martin. Makes a man miss, trying to get some yards here, and he's going to pick up maybe 1 or 2 here. He was tackled out here by number 21, Frank Herbert, sophomore from Pensacola for Harding.
There's some solid blocking for the Crimson Storm, but they can only hold those blocks for so long with Jonathan Martin trying to corral the pass there from Alec Lafune. We'll see what they can get going here. He's got Reese Carlson in the backfield to the right and Terrence Olds to the left. We'll see what they pull out.
So here's Lafune. Hands off to Olds up the right side. Olds looking for a hole over there, and he's going to be hit after a gain of about a yard here. So 3rd down and 6 coming up for the Crimson Storm.
That makes something happen here. Harding open up with a score after the debacle by the Crimson Storm. Got to find some momentum here. At least move the ball forward and pick up a 1st down.
So Lafune here going to operate in shotgun. Martin comes in motion. Lafune going to keep it. He's got some room up here to the right side. Flipped up over. Very close to that 1st down marker. I don't know if it's going to be enough.
He may have enough. He got kind of dump trucked in the air towards the end of the line.
He got it.
Does have enough for a 1st down.
So Alec Lafune making his presence felt here early on the ground. He comes up kind of moving that right shoulder a little bit. Once again, those who didn't know, Alec Lafune back in preseason there, just a couple of weeks before school started, Lafune in a scrimmage was tackled and landed on that right throwing shoulder and sprained his AC joint and sat out last week against Arkansas Tech. And now he's back in action. 1st down from the 35. He's going to fake the handoff and keep it up the left, and he's going to be hit in the backfield. Going to be a loss of a couple there.
Harding just snuffed out that big pass attempt from Lafune to Carlson. If he had pitched that to him, it would have been a 3-4 loss. So it's like it was a quarterback keeper. He'll be able to sustain these blocks going forward.
The safety, Scott Middleton, sent there on a blitz, and he was the one who got Lafune in the backfield. So loss of 2 on the play. 2nd and 12 from the 33. Lafune dropping back, screen pass. I think he was looking out there for Carlson, but
not sure he saw. He may have had Terrence Olds open in the flat. He's able to connect with that. He could get some positive yards for the Storm. Nevertheless, setting up a 3rd and about 12 for the Crimson Storm.
Yeah, 3rd and long here for SNU. We'll see what they're able to draw up here. Lafune is able to improvise and on the last 3rd down and get the 1st on with his legs.
Now both 1st downs have come off the quarterback keeper with Alec Lafune. Let's see what Coach Lambert pulls out here.
Looks like there's some miscommunication there in the backfield between Lafune and Olds. Drops back, looking for somebody to throw to, and he's going to be sacked back there. And that's number 99, Jensen Jackson, makes the play for Harding. bring out the special teams unit for the Crimson Storm.
See if they're able to connect here on this punt. Anguiano couldn't quite get a hold of it and resulted in huge loss for the Crimson Storm, and Harding is in great position. If they're able to nail this kick and put him in, flip the field here, could go well for the Storm.
Yeah, SMU's got to be careful here. The Harding has 10 guys lined up down there, but better snap this time. The punt is up and gets caught up in that north wind. Takes a generous bounce for SMU, and it's going to land at about the 42-yard line. Or Harding will take over once again. 7:57 left in the first quarter. Official timeout on the field, and we'll take one with them. Harding leads 7-0. We'll be right back here at SMUathletics.com. So after the timeout, Harding has it here. Good field position again for him here in the 43. And this corner could be huge for SNU here if they're able to get this Harding offense off the field.
I think you're right. SNU's got to be patient here, break down, and take these tackles here whenever they can get a chance.
Parrish hands off to up the middle. It's number 35, Dwayne Carter, senior from Navarre, Florida. Will scoot out to across the 50 to the 49. 7-8 yard pickup here. So second short coming up for Harding. Line up in what's almost really that, not a wishbone, but it's that spread little option formation back there.
Seems to be the trend for Harding's offense. Everybody bunches up together, not much spread out wide. Because last week, Parrish running through and completed 50 yards worth of passing. So passing's not really no repertoire for Harding.
Parrish hands off once again up the middle to Carter, and he was stopped after about a 2-yard pickup, but I believe it's going to be enough for the first down, and indeed it will. If you're familiar with college football, and Georgia Tech and Navy are the two schools I think of come to mind that run this particular offense that Harding is operating right here. First down. As you said, Connor, it's just so difficult to really engage your defense and get everybody on the same page because half the time you don't know who's got the ball.
That's right. It's just kind of picking up on tendencies of what the quarterback would like to run and what he chooses. Pitch out right.
We're going to pitch it out to the right here. Number 2, Scott Middleton. Excuse me, sorry, it's number 7, Eric Simmons on the carry. Senior from Little Rock, picking up about 5.
Good stop by the Crimson Storm, a little less tricky offensive play to try to figure out a simple pitch out to the right to the running back streaking from behind the quarterback. Able to read and make the tackle for the 4-yard gain.
So second and 4 from the 40 here. Snap clock down to 6 here for Harding. Hand off to Carter up the middle. Tackled by a gang of the Crimson Storm, and leading the way it was 44, Tristan Slinker, the 5'11 freshman from Cache, Oklahoma.
Great stop there by the Crimson Storm. As you said, a gang of Storm members running. Zach Ward coming off the edge is able to hold him, bring him back, and of course it's 3rd and 2 for the Bisons.
On along with that tackle, 23, Miles Roll was able to make the play in there for the Crimson Storm. Sophomore from Cypress, Texas. So this will be huge for SMU if they can get this stop here on 3rd and short. Parrish fakes the handoff to Carter, keeps it himself, and he scoots out, and it's going to be enough for the first down. A couple of first downs here on this drive already for Harding. They are threatening again.
What can you say about this Harding offensive line? They got some absolute bruises. You got 5 units, 3 down before the Crimson Storm. Simply out on the offensive front. So they're going to be able to do that Harris with the snap.
He's going to fake the handoff on the option. Read perfectly out there by number 23, Miles Roll. Just mentioned it. Parrish really had nowhere to go on that option run there.
Miles Roll with great anticipation. Seeing the pick up the middle to the running back. And he's able to chase down the quarterback and shoots his gap. And stick it to his principal here. Crimson Storm got to be able to stick to this game plan and force a 3rd and long for Harding to make it more difficult going forward.
Parrish loses one on that carry. So he's going to get another look here from the sideline.
I tell you, I've not seen one college team do this many adjustments this early in the ball game. Harding just makes you sweat.
Parrish fakes the handoff there, and he's going to scoot up across the 30 down to the 25, but the yellow flag came soaring from the back judge there in the direction of the offensive line.
One thing I think noteworthy for Harding, Parrish, a 5'10", 185-pound quarterback, not the biggest guy on the field.
And it's going to be a chop block, on Harding. Block below the waist there for those familiar with the term. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty.
Good night.
Harding.
As I was saying, Parrish not the biggest quarterback, but he's able to move miles with that small frame he's got against some big guys on the Crimson Storm defenses. They take a nice stroll back to the 45-yard line of SMU. Make it 2nd and 20 for the Bisons.
So as I said, this could be huge once again for SMU if they can get this Harding offense off the field. Still getting in early here. 2nd and 20 here. Parrish keeps it, runs up the middle here to the right side, down to the 35, where he was brought down by Miles Roll and Jonathan Cotton out there. So nice pickup there from Parrish. Picks up about 10, so it's going to bring up a 3rd and 10. For Harding.
Crimson Storm got to make something happen here. This defense is doing some good work. Got to get this stop here. Of course, the field goal or a short punt for the Bisons.
From the 34. Little flag thrown up there.
Big run up the gun up the middle. Parrish gets snuffed out by Crimson Storm defense. He's not going anywhere. Blues number 98, Jordan Harding on the tackle for the Crimson Storm. We'll see what the call is here.
It's going to be a face mask penalty there on the Crimson Storm.
Harding get the stop on defense. It's 3rd and long. Probably forcing a long field goal or a short punt. He's going to make sure it's a fresh set of downs for the Bisons. Now they lead the 17 of the Crimson Storm.
So now they move into the red zone once again here. Parrish going to hand off up the middle to Carter. Good stop there from SNU. It was led by 44 Tristan Slinker, the freshman, making his presence felt on the defensive side early. So a pick up of 3 there from Carter.
2 minutes left in this first quarter. Comes the Storm holding strong with that penalty. Absolutely. Puts some wind out of the sails for the Storm. See if they can get this hold here in the red zone. As Harding is very dangerous.
So Parrish operating to his left, going to hand off up the middle again. And again, SNU does a great job there of stopping Carter. About a 1-yard gain, so it's going to bring up about 3rd and 6 for Harding here. Harding already 2 for 2 on 3rd downs today.
Harding Bison's here in the court. Here comes the Crimson Storm. Such a heavy here. There's a time to have a stop. Maybe the time to close out this quarter.
Parrish hands off to the 2. He was hit, but he's just bouncing off people in there. Gets down to about the 5-yard line. It's going to be enough for a 1st down.
That's just a big bruiser they have from Harding Bison's 5'10", 240-pound running back.
21, Mikey McClung was there to make the play initially, but like we said, I mean, Latu is just too powerful down there. So 1st and goal from the 6. Under a minute to play here in the first quarter. Takes the snap to Latu again, and he is going to get in the end zone. Harding knocking on the door, puts it in here for another score. 2nd rushing touchdown for Harding here in the first quarter. This one by Michael Latu, the 5'10" senior from San Mateo, California. Tristan Parsley in for the extra point. Up and through, so 33 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Harding leads SNU 14-0. We'll step aside. We'll be right back here at SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. We apologize, ladies and gentlemen, for the technical difficulties, but into the first quarter, it's over, and so here comes SNU. They got the ball back after the kickoff on the 2nd touchdown scored by Harding as Quincy Whitfield gets things going here in the 2nd quarter with a 1st down run.
Trying to start a spark here for the Crimson Storm is Whitfield. They'll change the pace here from Coach Lambert early on in the 2nd quarter.
As we said, we apologize for the issues with the audio, and our man David Noblet working very hard to make sure we get the best possible game day. Oh, and Laffoon drops the ball there on the snap there. So
maybe we should go away from the broadcast and just do audio for a little while, because when we were off the air, they were doing pretty good moving the ball forward.
So it's going to be a loss of 4 there for the Crimson Storm.
Stay here with a 2nd and 14 after the nice run by Whitfield and the drop by Laffoon. Try to get something going here and just, man, try some power attack here. You got your boys in Will House and John Clark at left guard and left tackle. Let's see if they can move some piles here and anchor out some yards. Laffoon with a nice dish.
Screen pass over here to Reese Carlson, and unable to hang on to that one, so it's going to bring up a 3rd and long for the Crimson Storm. SNU 1 for 3 on 3rd downs. Momentum really has just been all Harding ever since they were able to get the Crimson Storm off the field early in the first quarter, and then the low snap on the punt Anguiano went down and his knee was on the ground. So 3rd down and long. Laffoon dropping back, looking out to the left side. He was looking for his man out there, number 80, Devin Brady, the tight end, 6'3" freshman.
Yeah, he had him. He had a nice little window to try to fit that ball and just put a little out too far for Brady not to be able to get to. Ball goes back to Harding on the fourth and long for the Crimson Storm.
So it'll be the 3rd punt attempt here for Anguiano in the first half as Corey Bassett back to receive for Harding. Anguiano sends one out. Bassett going to field it at the 25. Trying to get up the right middle there and hit, and he's brought down just past the 30-yard line, so about a 5-6 yard return there for Bassett. So Harding will take over in another series here. So we'll break down just a little bit of statistics here. In that first quarter, Harding accumulated 70 total yards there, all of them on the ground. Didn't even attempt a pass in that first quarter there, Connor. SNU, 8 rushing yards, 2 passing yards in the first quarter.
Yeah, it's just a tough start for the Crimson Storm. Harding not really needing to pass that off when you just got a seemingly unstoppable rushing attack, mustering about 300 or so yards per game. Why would you need to pass?
Yeah, as we've stated in the pregame and on to early parts of this game, Harding just able to control the game on the ground.
And the Crimson Storm up front got to be able to keep doing work up front. They only have three down linemen on a base 3-4 defense to see if they can get past these big blockers of the Harding Bisons and try to stop any momentum Harding's got here in the second quarter.
So Parrish will step back under center for Harding. Parrish has 5 carries for 26 yards and a touchdown. And here he's going to step back to pass, and he's got a man over there. Oh, just over the head of his intended target there. Number 20, Eric Kelly.
Eric Kelly got a licking from number 27, Brady Smith, coming over the middle, breaking up any pass attempt and sending a message. He's not catching any easy passes in his area.
It was Jonathan Cotton over there who almost was able to get over there in time to make the play on the defensive side. So now 2nd and 10 here for the Bison. Parrish hands off up the middle to Latu, and he is stopped.
Good night.
What a great play in there for the Crimson Storm by Zach Lloyd and number 99, Jannard Johnson. Pickup of 1 or 2 there, and that defensive line, Connor, is just so critical in a heavy loaded offense like Harding has here, a heavy run loaded offense. That it really is all controlled by that defensive line.
Absolutely. Crimson Storm able to get some nice penetration there and stop Harding in their tracks. Another 3rd and long. We'll see if the Crimson Storm can stop when they're 3 for 3 on 3rd down.
The pitch outside, out across the 40. It's going to be real close out there. As
I think he was just about a yard shy, Tanner. He slid across the first down line, and it looks like
Zach Shelley,
a yard short.
Zach Shelley was the one who carried that, and I believe the offense, no hesitation at all, staying out there for Harding.
Crimson Storm got to line up. Harding's ready to go.
Quarterback sneak for Parrish, and he gets it easily there, out across to the 44-yard line there. And like you said, Connor, and I mean, SNU just really didn't ever look set.
Tristan Slinker was looking over across the sideline looking for the play call, but he didn't realize Harding was ready to go, and that came right up his gap and was able to get the first down.
So a new set of downs to work with here for Harding. Just about 3 minutes into the second quarter here. The handoff to Latu up the right side. He's got a hole, and he gets out across the 50 now into SNU territory, down to the 46-yard line. Another first down for Harding.
Crimson Storm and the Bison's getting play calls from the sidelines, trying to make something happen here. Got to be able to flush these gaps. They know Harding's going to be trying to run it in between guard and tackle spots. Got to be able to plug those holes and get a stop.
So here's Parrish, hands off.
Ooh,
He
nice
fakes the
pitch.
handoff. Pitch out here. It's Kelly out across the left side, breaking a couple of tackles. For he was brought down out here by Stephen Price at about the 27-yard line. Pickup of 19 there for Kelly.
And just a nice pickup. The fake dive into the middle and a nice pitch out on the left. And a great game for the Bisons.
So now moving close to that red zone again. Harding, they've just been able to pretty much control every aspect of the game so far, on both offensively and defensively.
And they've definitely shown the game plan they're working with. They're going to plug the ball up the middle and play hard-nosed defense on the other side.
Handoff to Kelly, and oh, what a great stop in there by number 94 in there for the Crimson Storm, Ruben DeMos.
Along with number 36, Stephen Price, the 5'9 junior from Duncan, Oklahoma, with a great shot up the middle off the miscommunication by the Bisons. It looked like there was some early motion or just not knowing what play was called. Results in a loss for the Bisons.
Second and long here from the 29. The pitch outside. Out across, down inside the red zone there. Once again, it's Zach Shelley.
Getting chased down out of bounds by Breon Jackson and Miles Roll. Trying to keep him from getting the first down. Looks like he's just short. It'll be 3rd and inches for the Bisons. They're now 4 for 4 on 3rd downs, trying to make it a perfect 5 for 5. Just under 10 minutes left now in this second quarter.
As you said, 3rd and short. For Harding here. The handoff to Latu there. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, but bounces off a couple and gets down inside the 15 there. Before he was brought down over there by Jacob Rudder for the Crimson Storm.
And Harding, just a prime example here, Tanner, just wearing these defenses down, just ground and pound all day. It looks like these defensive players are already tired as the
Parrish
quarterback keeper just gets stuffed for next to no gain by the Crimson Storm. Stephen Price again on the tackle.
As you said there, Parrish kept it on the keeper there and not able to get hardly anything. I think at this point here, if SNU can just get them to a 4th down and even hold them to a field goal here, would be just a little bit of a victory for the Crimson Storm here. Any kind of momentum would just be crucial for SNU here.
Absolutely. This crowd is getting into it as much as they can, trying to will this defense to get a stop here.
Latu on the carry again,
Good
and
night.
He's tackled out there by Brett Smith, the defensive back, sophomore from Kingfisher.
We got a player down for SNU. Looks like number 5, Breon Jackson.
5'10" sophomore from Copperas Cove, Texas. As Latu
couldn't get a good look here. We'll try to see what they're tending to for Jackson. Not sure what happened. It could have gotten his leg caught in between a defender or teammate or one of the Bison players. We'll see what the trainers try to assess here. Again, Harding on that short 3rd and 2 as Breon Jackson is looking to get up and be able to walk at least a little bit. I'm not sure what has happened, but we'll keep you updated as this goes forward. We'll update some action around the GAC. Southern Arkansas up 10-7 early against Northwest Oklahoma State early in the second quarter. Henderson State up 13-0 against East Central. And Ouachita Baptist up 10-7 against Southeastern Oklahoma State. We'll keep you updated as those games progress, and this one continues midway through the second quarter.
So yeah, it's good to see Breon Jackson go over to the sideline under his own power. He was a big part of SNU's defense last week against Arkansas Tech. I believe he led the team in tackles. So hopefully they can get him back in there. 3rd and short for Harding. Parrish hands off to Latu.
Oh, great tackle there from Zach Lloyd, able to wrap him up from the ankles behind before he scoots into the end zone. Unfortunately, saving a first down will be 1st and goal for the Bisons.
Sophomore from Bartlesville on the stop there, but you said, Connor, not before they get the first down. So 1st and goal here from the 3-yard line. And Harding just threatening again here with second quarter already halfway gone. This rushing attack, I'll tell you what. Parrish keeps the handoff and he takes it in himself. It's going to be the second rushing touchdown of the first half for Park Parrish, as Harding has now pushed its lead to a 3-score game.
Absolutely. I believe that's put him up to 8 rushes for now 33 yards and 2 touchdowns for Park Parrish. Have yourself a day.
Paulsley lines up for the extra point. Oh, and I'll tell you what, Derek Carmouche got a great jump off the left side and didn't quite get there in time. The extra point is up and good. So 7:30 remaining here in the first half. Harding on the board again. They lead SNU 21-0. We'll step aside. We'll be right back here at SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Harding up 21-0 on SNU. After Park Parrish sent one for a second rushing touchdown, as SNU, it's a short kickoff there as it was fielded by Daniel Ramos over there on the left side. He's brought down at the 25-yard line. So Connor here 21-0. Harding pretty much been able to control the most of the game. I think the spark here, if there's going to be any, it's going to have to come from this offense to get something going and put some points on the board.
Absolutely. The Crimson Storm defense done all they can to try to answer that 3-headed monster for the Harding Bisons, but the SNU offense has got to get something going. Alec Laffoon has provided a spark with his legs, but he can only do so much with 11 guys trying to chase him down. He's got to be able to complete some of those short passes and open up the running and deep passing game going forward. As Terrence Olds now checks back into the ball game for the Crimson Storm.
So the Crimson Storm handoff here to Terrence Olds. Scoots up the middle out across the 30. Gets to the 30. It'll be a pickup of about 4 yards there for Olds.
Good looking run as that offensive line was able to get a good enough push, and he was able to muster out four strong yards to start out this possession.
It seems there's just been a couple of miscommunications here on the offensive side as we saw Terrence Olds run on the field late. And SNU barely able to get that last snap off, actually, but trying to get everybody on the same page here. offensively. LaFoon, great leader to have out there for SNU. He's in the pistol here. Handoff to Olds once again out across the right side, down at about the 32, 33 yard line.
That's just what you need. You see the piles going forward a lot more for the Crimson Storm, and Terrence Olds using that big body, 6'1", 225, able to move piles. Just get closer to that first down, 2 yards, and they're away to another full extended of a possession, a fresh set of downs.
So it's going to be 3rd and 3 from the 33 yard line for SNU. LaFoon has it out across the right side, and he had his man over there.
Reese
Carlson, but out of the hands. The pass was where it needed to be, but it was a good play out there by Frank Herbert for Harding to bat the ball down out of Carlson's hands. So
I believe he had about both hands on the football. He's just got to be able to come down with that catch. Though Carlson, a new guy on the team, transferred from University of Montana, coming out here to play for Coach Lambert. He's got to be able to play and make that catch to get the first down for the Crimson Storm.
So another 3 and out here for the SNU offense. And the head back judge throwing a flag here as he looks to be counting out here, counting players. And he's going to pick his flag up, actually.
As our referee just had a little miscount there, as the players look at him saying, we have 11, and Carlos Anguiano will carry on and take away this punt.
Oh, and see, now they didn't correctly signal in when play could actually resume. So once again, that's kind of back-to-back errors there by the officials. So, Connor, you see errors from the players a lot of times in the first couple weeks of college football season, and every once in a while you see them from the officials as well. Everybody's just trying to get back into the flow of it.
You're right. It's the first day back. It's like the first day back in class. There's always a little something that's off that you're not used to. You got to work out the kinks the first day back. So we'll look to continue that here as we'll look to finally get away this punt.
So after everybody's set and correct number of men on the field, Anguiano sends one off.
Beautiful kick from Anguiano back to the 24-yard line.
It was a very good punt as Anguiano gets it up in that north wind and lets it do the rest. So Harding will take over now from their own 24, leading 21-0. As we said earlier, a little bit about the GAC coming into this week. Harding right up there near the top with Henderson State. Henderson State coming in actually ranked number 9 in the country in all of Division II.
That's quite a tall order for the Crimson Storm, coming off a 1-10 season, trying to take on one of the top teams in the country and probably one of the top teams in the conference as well.
Yeah, absolutely, as Harding was receiving votes here. So Parrish back out there, and he's going to hand off up the middle to Latu.
Crimson Storm trying to rip that ball out of there, but it's not going anywhere. It'll be a 2nd and about 8 for the Bisons. Here's Latu, could not muster any momentum, just sent packing as soon as he got the ball.
They're going to rule it a gain of 3 yards there for Latu. So they'll operate now from the 27-yard line. Coming on up close to about 5 minutes left here in the first half. Parrish keeps it up the right side. Got a little bit of room before he was tackled on the shoelace there by Miles Roll after a pickup of about 7 or 8 yards, and it's going to be real close to the first down.
Miles Roll having a good performance out of that middle linebacker package. A lot of linebacking having to step up this year after a solid core leaving after the past 4 years. And look, measurement here on the far sideline, as you can see.
It was very close to that first down marker. And
I think they're giving him just a bit of a generous spot. He looked to have slid forward before the contact on the ground was about 1.5 yards back. We'll see what the call is here. And it is a first down for the Bison.
So as you can see there, our high-definition cameras that we did not have a couple years ago. It's courtesy there of our man David Noblet getting upgrading our technology up here, giving you guys a good experience at home. So it will be a first down for Harding. They're from the 34.
Our referees get set back into their positions. We'll continue play here. And Harding Bisons look like they're going in a bit of a twins left formation, trying to maybe pass the ball a little bit. No, they'll just run.
Parrish keeps it on the left side, and he's going to get out across the 45, and another first down coming for Harding. Park Parrish has been tough to stop so far for Harding here in the first half.
So he's now up to about 50 yards, just under 50 yards, averaging 4.9 yards a carry with 2 touchdowns, having a stellar day here against this SNU defense.
So from their own 47. Parrish under center again. The pitch out to the right side there, it's Eric Simmons, and he is going to go down in the backfield. Big play there from number 41, Jason Cooper.
Trying to make a cut there. He looks like he was slipping trying to cut before he ran into his teammate Brandon Gates. And it resulted in a loss and a good play for the Crimson Storm, making it 2nd and 13 for the Bison.
So that was Jason Cooper trying to get his defense fired up there. Second and 13 here for Harding. He's going to fake the handoff and pitch out to Simmons again. He's got some room out there to the right. And he is going to pick up a large chunk of yards here down into SNU territory. Down to the 35, another first down coming for Harding. 12 first downs now for Harding. Check that, make it 13. SNU just 3. As we approach 3 minutes remaining here in the first half, and if I'm a betting man here, I'm betting that Harding is going to try to get this clock as far down as they can, because they will be receiving the second half kickoff.
Absolutely, Tanner. They've just absolutely owned this possession as this ball goes right up the middle to the 2.
And it was a good tackle in there by Jason Cooper and number 23, Miles Roll.
Harding now possessed the ball for over 15 minutes now of this half. I'd say it's about closer to 20 as our stats keep updating and have just dominated this game up 21-0 and just keep pounding the football and just grinding it out minute by minute.
2nd and 8 here.
Another adjustment here from the Bisons as running back Brandon Gates comes to the backfield. They look to the sideline, look to make some changes here and keep pounding this football.
Parrish pitches out to Simmons on the right side. Initially hit there, but Simmons keeps going, and he'll be run out of bounds over there on the right sideline, about the 27-yard line. So bring up a 3rd and short coming up for Harding. So clock continuing to run here, now under 2 minutes to go. They did change that rule a couple years ago. The clock would stop under 2 minutes, but now they changed it to where that's only happening in the 4th quarter.
Some precious moments here going off the clock. Harding Bison not in any hurry, up 21-0 with a 3rd and 2.
Parrish keeps it himself there up the middle, and man, he's just continuing to get yards. As a late flag comes flying in from the back judge as Parrish went down. And so this could be a huge call here. As he got enough for the first down. And it's going to be a holding penalty there called on Harding.
And a good break for the Crimson Storm off a 3rd and short, giving off about an 8-9 yard run as Parrish was just running over people, but they'll send them back for now 3rd and long for the Bisons.
Well, they'll replay 3rd down, and I believe it'll be from the spot of the foul. So I think they're trying to determine where exactly the holding penalty took place here. They're going to say it took place at the 16-yard line and back them up from there. So they'll move him back to the 31.
Well, it looks like they gave him a 1st down and just moved him back 10 yards.
Man, that's strange. I've never seen that before.
I don't believe I've seen that either, but
if it's that's never seen that before. I guess you learn something new every day.
I guess
It'll
so.
be a new set of downs for Harding here as they're operating from the 31 here. Clock continuing to run here for Harding. Now at a minute. Fakes the handoff. Parrish up the middle. Down to the 21, 22-yard line before he's brought down by Damian Willis. And Harding is going to use its first timeout of the half here. 50 seconds left. They're trying to put some more points on the board before halftime. See if SNU's defense can get a stop. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back here at SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. 2nd down and short to go here for Harding for using their first timeout of the half here. They're knocking on the door on the 22. Parrish hands off to Latou up the right side, got a hole. And man, he is like a bowling ball out there when he carries the football down inside the 10-yard line.
Good night. Man, does not go down easy. I haven't seen less than probably 3 or 4 tacklers trying to take him down. We'll see if Harding can punch it in here with just under 40 seconds left in this first half.
So Latou gets the handoff again inside the 10, gets out to the 5, so it's going to be a pickup of about 4.
You know, just like that, Latou was hit at about the 9 and dragged the tackler down to about the 5. Just sheer power by the Bison's running back.
So Harding uses its second timeout of the half here. 224 rushing yards for Harding here in the first half, and that's all the yards that they've gotten. They have not completed a pass. They've just attempted one pass in the first half here. As we said, it's just been really the duo of Park Parrish and Latou there inside, making it difficult for this SNU defense.
Absolutely. They have just worn them down as the clock continued to roll throughout this half. They've had the ball for now over 22 minutes. And anytime you had the ball for that amount of time, you're usually putting up points and punishing whatever defense you're going up against.
So they'll come back out on a 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line. 30 seconds left. See if SNU's defense can get a stop here. So here's Park Parrish. The pitch out to Simmons on the right side. He's got a hole, and he finds the end zone. Touchdown Harding. It's the running back, number 7, Eric Simmons, the 5'5" senior from Little Rock, Arkansas. So Palsy in for the extra point. And once again, Derek Carmouche gets a great jump on the left side there, and there's a flag down on the 2-yard line here near the SNU sideline. The extra point was good. It's going to be offside penalty. I think it was on Derek Carmouche, and so Harding will decline the penalty as they take a 28-0 lead here with 28 seconds to go. We'll step aside for a bit. We'll be right back here at SNUathletics.com. So Harding, before the break, was able to get in the end zone for the 4th time here in the first half and extend their lead 28-0 here as Derek Arrington fields it up the left side. He's got some room down the left sideline. Arrington out near the 50-yard line. The 6-foot freshman from Houston, Texas, giving SNU some life here right before halftime.
Great return, staying in your lanes, following your blocks, and able to finally put the football on the other side of the 50. Crimson Storm could come away with a little bit of life here at the end of the first half.
SNU does have all 3 of their timeouts here as they got short field to operate with here. 18 seconds to go. We'll see if Alec LaFoon and company can get something going. LaFoon in the shotgun. And he's going to be hit down there as, I don't know if that was supposed to be a design quarterback draw there, but it's going to be a loss of about 6 yards there as head coach Andy Lambert going to call his first time out here with 11 seconds to go in the half. And some more score updates from around the GAC. 4:38 left in the second quarter. Southern Arkansas leads Northwestern Oklahoma State 17-7. Henderson State up big in the first half against East Central. They lead 27-0. Said Henderson State, number 9 ranked team in the all of Division II. They're well on their way to a victory tonight. Southeastern Oklahoma State at home against the Ouachita Baptist. They lead 21-10 with 3:48 left. And in our other game, it's University of Arkansas Monticello and Southwestern Oklahoma State. All right, that score is not appearing live on the updated.
Do you want her to interview Coach or no?
As SNU with it here, 11 seconds to go. Flag down on the play as LaFoon's going to take off running. He takes a hit there at the 45 by number 43, Benjamin Shields. So I'm not sure if everybody was still set down there. It's going to be an illegal procedure on the Crimson Storm. Harding will decline the penalty, so 5 seconds left here in the first half. And SNU just going to let the clock run out here in the first half. So that'll be it for the first half here in Bethany. Harding will take a 28-0 lead into halftime, and they will be receiving the second half kickoff. Or so we thought the half was over. Nope, SNU did call a timeout there with 5 seconds to go. We thought, Connor, maybe it was a rough half for SNU in the first half here, but I think it may have been a rougher half for this head official.
It could be. He's had a lot of struggles trying to come up here and just trying to coordinate the calls that are coming down here on the field. But, you know, again, it is the first day, the first half of the first day, and we'll see if SNU is able to grind out something here with just over 4 seconds left in the first half.
So head coach Andy Lambert is having a word here with the head official.
Trying to figure out something here if they get a play or not, but.
So play has been resumed here. 20 seconds left on the play clock. SNU's going to come back out for another play.
Got to find something quick. The play clock winded down. LaFood can't take too much time here.
So they line up in the shotgun. 4 seconds to go in the half. LaFoon going to keep it on the handoff there, and he's going to be knocked down at the 44-yard line, and that is going to be the final play of the first half here in Bethany. So as we said, Harding will take a 28-0 lead into halftime. So we're going to take a break here in the booth. We'll come back, break down the first half, give us an outlook on the second half. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here at SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Halftime here, 28-0 Harding. And right now we're going to send it down to the field for our special event under the direction of Danny Abrego. It's the Sound of the Storm. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Tanner Stiles alongside Connor McKenzie. First half, Harding leads 28-0. Connor, what stuck out to you in that first half?
Oh, man, where do you start? Harding's rushing attack was just absolutely on fire. Whether Park Parrish was faking it and keeping it himself or handing it off to Leteau and just pounding the SNU defense, it seemed unstoppable as they rushed for over 200 yards in the first half alone.
Absolutely. Harding, 229 rushing yards in the first half. They also had 14 first downs as opposed to just 3 for SNU. We saw Alec Laffoon start the game off with like a couple of 10-yard rushes there to get things going for SNU there offensively. So it'll be interesting to see how SNU will be able to respond here in the second half.
As though we were just kind of breezed by our lovely photographer, Mr. Jonathan Hain, as you're seeing Tanner just some adjustments to make in the second half, just trying to set the tone defensively and try to stop, not necessarily stop, but at least slow down the Harding rushing attack. And meanwhile on offense, got to be able to get back and just be able to fire the ball down the field, make some completions. Reese Carlson was a big target for Alec Laffoon in the first half. We'll see if he continues to throw to him or look at Derek Gillis on the outside as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's just going to come down to not only the defense getting a big stop here to start the second half, but on top of that, SNU, like we said in the pregame, SNU has not scored on Harding the past 2 years, and so having 0 at halftime now, there could be in danger of making that 3. So I think SNU's offense might get going here in the second half. It'll be interesting to see kind of how the play calls maybe kind of switch up around, but I'm looking for better things here from the offense here in the second half.
I think you're right, Tanner. Some momentum going on this side. Coach Lambert is a great motivator, a great speaker for this Crimson Storm team. Look to see how he looks to get things going here and at least slow down the Harding Bison's offensive attack.
Absolutely, Connor. We got about 2.5 minutes left here before we get going in the second half, so we'll take a quick break. We'll have the second half kickoff for you right here on SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Second half kickoff here from Carlos Anguiano is up and underway. Harding retrieves the second half kickoff. It's Bassett from the goal line. Out across the middle, and man, he's got some speed, and he's breaking free, and ladies and gentlemen, he's gone. Corey Bassett all the way 100 yards from the goal line.
Corey Bassett showing off a lot of that 4.5 speed on that kickoff return. What an incredible start for the Bison.
The 5'8" senior from Plano, Texas. Very quickly just gives Harding a big advantage here.
And just not the start you're looking for the Crimson Storm. Sure, Coach Lampert emphasized trying to stay in the lanes and not let anything beat them early. And a kick return for a touchdown to open up the second half was not what he had in mind.
As there's a flag on the play there on the extra point. Tristan Slinker slipped in the right side there a little too early. Will be offsides on the Crimson Storm.
Back-to-back offside penalties on field goals for the Crimson Storm. Got to be able to stick to the principles and the basic fundamentals of football to know where the ball's lined up and not jump early.
So they'll move them up a yard here on the extra point.
So I'm sure that extra yard will make a big difference here on this extra point kick. Is up and good.
It's up and it is good indeed. So just 13 seconds into the second half, Harding strikes on a 100-yard kickoff return from Corey Bassett. It's 35-0. We'll be right back here at SNUathletics.com. $35-0 is our score here in Bethany. Harding strikes first in the second half.
See if the Crimson Storm can return this one back for
a short little kickoff again over here to the left side. Oh, and it's caught and fumbled, and this could be going back Harding's way. No signal yet on the field, but
that is Harding.
And you can tell by the reactions it is indeed going to Harding there. So it was number 24, Roger Barchiers, the running back from Poto, Oklahoma. Not getting his hands on that kickoff there. So Harding has possession here from the 33-yard line. Connor, it's just tough goings here this afternoon and now into the evening here for SNU.
It's been a tough go-around for a Crimson Storm, just not being able to set their feet and get things going. They are under new direction with Coach Andy Lambert as of this past early spring, just trying to get things going and establish a new face for the program as Park Parrish is going to take this one up the left side. He's got a lot of green.
And he is into the end zone on one play here for Harding. It's going to be a 33-yard rushing touchdown. Park Parrish's third. As just one play there from Harding to get into the end zone. Halsey lines up for the extra point. 3 rushing touchdowns for Park Parish, 106 yards. So it is up and it is good. So just 23 seconds into the second half, Connor, and Harding has already scored 2 touchdowns.
You know, it's just some unfortunate errors for the Crimson Storm, not being able to stay in their lanes, and just the kick return by Harding, able to show some amazing speed. Didn't really make many tackles. His special teams just made some key blocks to get up that lane, and the Crimson Storm weren't able to hang on to the short, high pooch kick brought on by the Bisons, and Harding made them pay on the offensive side.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just that defense right now just kind of almost looks demoralized out there, as Harding has just been able to do, like we talked about, they've just been able to do pretty much whatever they've wanted to on the offensive side of the ball. And it's just tough to see when, you know, your offense is out there and 3 and out, and just when you're getting a break on the side, you got to go back out there again on defense. So
we'll see if Harding elects to kick back to Tristan Slinker on that short, high pooch kick. Make these Storm return players pay for the lapses in special teams, offense, and defense. Harding with their foot well on the gas pedal here early on in this second half, already 14 points in 21 seconds.
Trevor Smith and Derek Arrington back to return another short kickoff.
Tristan Slinker now secures the catch right around the 30-yard line. And he'll set up shop there very quickly.
So this will be the first look of the SNU offense here in the second half. As Alec LaFoon set to get back out there for SNU. Just 12 yards of offense for SNU in the first half. I'm not sure what the record is for SNU, but that might be pushing it for the lowest yards in a half. But nonetheless, we got 30 more minutes to play here in the ball game. LaFoon keeps it on the handoff.
Ooh.
Takes a hit there up at the 35. It was Christian Witt.
Good shot there
from Harding. As LaFoon bounces right back up there after he picked up about 5 yards. That just shows you, though, Connor, the kind of player Alec LaFoon is. I mean, he's one guy to never give up after tearing his ACL 2 times in his college career. He had the option to come back this season, and, of course, the competitor he is wanted to give it one more go with his boys out here. 2nd and 5. He's going to hand off to Terrence Olds up the middle.
It's a good push there from the offensive line, but linebackers defensive front of Harding is able to push back and keep it to a gain of about 2 or 3. Be 3rd down and 2 for the Crimson Storm.
So we'll see if SNU can pick up a first down here. SNU 1 for 6, converting 3rd downs in this ball game. LaFoon scrambling to his right, going to get hit, and he tries to pitch it over to Terrence Olds. Picked up by Dalen Markham, and he is going to trot into the end zone. That was just unfortunate there, as it was an option keeper there, and LaFoon at the last second tried to pitch it over to Terrence Olds, but Markham got his hand on it, and that was enough. There is a flag down on the play here at the 12-yard line. So I'm not sure what we've got here. Oh. So it looked like it was a personal foul chop block on the Crimson Storm that I believe was declined. We didn't really get an official. Even head coach Andy Lambert is wondering what on earth that call was.
That's a little confusing there. Double negative there for Crimson Storm, the chop block penalty, and then the fumble off the late pitch from LaFoon right into the defender's hands.
So Palsy on for his 7th extra point attempt in this ball game, and it is up and it is good. So a minute 56 into the second half, and Harding has tacked on 3 touchdowns, boost their lead to 49-0. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back here at SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. So the penalty on the chop block was accepted, and it was going to be on the kickoff. So they are now kicking off from the 50-yard line. And it's going to sail into the end zone. And that was taking a knee there by Trevor Smith. So SNU will start back up once again on offense here from the 25-yard line. Real quickly, we'll give you an update here on some other scores around the GAC. Halftime, Southern Arkansas in Magnolia leads Northwestern Oklahoma State 20-7. Henderson State still up big over East Central. Southeastern Oklahoma State leads by 2 touchdowns against the Ouachita at halftime. And we got our game here in Bethany. Second half just getting going here. LaFoon back in there, fakes the handoff.
I believe that ball just got batted at the line of scrimmage. Defensive end number 43 of the Bison, Benjamin Shields, a 6'1" senior for the Bisons. Stopping the clock here temporarily for the Crimson Storm and just trying to halt any momentum the Storm are looking for, trying to keep them out of the end zone and just keep asserting this dominant performance for the Bisons.
2nd and 10 here. LaFoon dropping back and take a shot down the field. He's got a man. Oh, and it's tipped away. That was good coverage out there by Ja'Cory Nichols for Harding. He was looking for his man, Reese Carlson.
Reese Carlson had some nice opportunities. The ball's been right there at his hands, but just keeps getting knocked away at the last second by the defense. Got to be frustrating for a receiver like Carlson.
So 3rd down and 10 here for Crimson Storm. LaFoon's got it, throwing across the middle once again. Looking for Carlson, and it's going to be batted away from Harding.
Yeah, LaFoon's got to be able to put just a little bit more air on that ball. He threw it about 1.5 yards behind Carlson. If he's able to put it about 1 yard in front of him, it could be a big game for the Crimson Storm, about the 40-yard line, but instead lined up at 4th and 10 to punt it back away to the Bison.
So another 3 and out here for the Crimson Storm offense. And the punt team lighting back up here. Anguiano sends it off, high sailing punt. Takes a lateral bounce and winds up at the 36-yard line. Where Harding is set to come back out once again. It's been a very slow 2.5 minutes, I'll say, Connor, to start the second half.
Indeed it has, Tanner. It just seems to just kind of dragged on with the penalties going up for the Crimson Storm. Is now Harding up to 262 rushing yards on the afternoon. Penalties for the Storm, 4 penalties for, check this, 131 yards against SNU.
And I believe Harding has a new quarterback in there. It's number 1, Terrence Dingle, 5'9" sophomore from Newport News, Virginia. He's going to run the option. There's a fumble on the play.
Pitch out, the pickup.
SNU picks it up. They got room out to the right. Inside the 20-yard line, it's number 33, Damian Willis.
What a nice break for the Crimson Storm. The change in quarterback. Derek Carmouche tackling the ball carrier, preventing them from picking up the fumble. As you said, Storm able to pick it up, and it just inside the red zone, to start off their possession.
So SNU has it here inside the red zone. SNU trying to break the scoring streak against Harding. Said as they haven't put up anything against Harding in the past 2 seasons. It's LaFoon back out there. Play clock down to 2. SNU needs to get it off, and they're not going to get it off.
Good night. Alec LaFoon, the senior quarterback for this team, has got to be able to recognize that play clock coming down.
So they will move back 5 yards. That's the second delay of game penalty on the Crimson Storm here.
So we got some new personnel in the ballgame for Harding as well on the defensive side, trying to change things up and get some guys some reps in as the season goes on.
LaFoon takes the hand. He's going to take the snap, fake the handoff, and go up the middle. Down to close to the the 17-yard line. So a pickup of about 4 yards there on 1st and 15. So here's LaFoon in the pistol formation.
Here's some wall out in motion. Handoff.
Terrence Olds with it.
Oh,
down near the right side, and he is hit immediately by number 16, John Aaron Howell.
That'll drop the Storm another 2 yards. Now 3rd and 14 for SNU on the right side hash. Trying to get something going here. If they can't get in the yards, at least put the ball back in the middle of the field to give Anguiano a shot at making this kick.
And they're on the 20-yard line here.
Carlson to the left of LaFoon.
3rd and long here. LaFoon in the shotgun. Takes the handoff. Gives it to Terrence Olds up the left side. Terrence Olds into the end zone. Touchdown. Crimson Storm.
Terrence Olds with a big hole provided by that offensive line. Will House and John Clark clearing out space for Terrence Olds. Touchdown SNU. But there is a flag on the play in the backfield.
There's a flag on the play, and I believe it's going to be roughing the passer. They hit LaFoon after the play there. Even though our head judge down here, he signaled it was on the Crimson Storm, and at the last second changed it. It's been a long night for him.
He's having a Monday. What can you say? A Monday on a Saturday. It doesn't happen too often, but we'll take it. Crimson Storm on the board.
And there goes the scoring streak against Harding. First time they've put up points against them since 2013. Anguiano's extra point is up, and it is good. So with 11:05 left in the 3rd quarter, SNU is on the board, 49-7. We'll be right back here at SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. SNU was able to get on the board here by a 20-yard run from Terrence Olds as Anguiano sends one to the back of the end zone.
What a great kick from Anguiano, taking out any type of return chance.
Well, he did kick that one off from the 50-yard line. They had the penalty on the roughing the passer from Laffoon that was enforced on the kickoff, but nonetheless, it was a good kick indeed. So here comes Harding back out there, and that second-string quarterback, Terrence Dingle, who took his first snap and had a little miscommunication in the backfield on the errant pitch. And SNU recovered the fumble and scored 3 plays later.
See if SNU can look to muster another stop here on this defensive side with Dingle back in quarterback position.
He hands off up the middle, and there's a big dog pile up there. So we just see bodies going flying everywhere.
Miles Roll launched himself on the top of that dog pile trying to bring him down. We'll move the chains. First down for the Bison.
It was Ramar Reeds, 5'8" freshman from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, getting the carry for Harding there. Picks up the first down for the Harding. So he's going to fake the handoff and pitch out to Simmons on the right side. Simmons down the sideline and out of bounds. They're going to mark him down at the 45-yard line. Gain of about 10 yards, and that will be enough for a first down for the Bisons. So Harding going quickly here, lining back up again on first down. New member in the backfield there for Harding, number 5, Grant Kimberlin, 5'8" junior from Olive Branch, Mississippi, in for Harding. And Dingle hands off up the middle to Reeds, who is refusing to go down there, and he's going to pick up about 11 yards for another first down for Harding.
Reeds and the rest of that Harding backfield, just an absolute load to carry as they just bring defenders with them. They get hit at about the 40, and they get to carry them to about the 44 or 45. Just a stable of running backs here for the Bison.
So Reeds is 5'8", 195 pounds, and tough runner. As we've seen on the last 2 carries for Harding here, it's another first down from the 44. Dingle hands off to Simmons on the counter. He's off to the right side. Hit just past the 40 and brought down after a 6-yard carry. Mikey McClung and Breon Jackson on the tackle for the Crimson Storm. So 2nd and 5 from the 39 here.
Play clock winding down here for Harding. Got to get this snap off. Just about 3 seconds left.
So here's Dingle. Hands it off up the middle to Reeds. Down close to the 35 of the 36, so it's going to be a 3rd down and short coming up for Harding.
Third
and 2.
A long 2 for the Bison. Crimson Storm defensive front. Got to get a stop here.
Dingle keeps it himself up the middle. Good tackle there, but it's going to be enough for the first down here. Harding just continuing to move the chains here on this Crimson Storm defense. So from the 33 here, new set of downs for Harding. The pitch outside to Kelly over here on the left side. Down the left side. Down inside the 10. Close to the 5. It's actually Grant Kimberlin on that carry for Harding. Gain of 19 yards there. Gets him down to the 5-yard line, and Harding knocking on the door once again. So here's Dingle, hands off, up the middle to Kimberlin again. A 4-yard gain, tackled just short of the goal line.
That was a nice play to fake up the middle. Looking for a QB sneak on the outside and gives it to the running back streaking behind him. Good play, near score for the Bison.
It's going to be a 2nd and goal from the 1. Movement at the line of scrimmage there. Very well could be. Yes, it's going to be offsides on Crimson Storm there.
So I guess they'll move it about that half-inch towards the goal line. And
being on the 1-yard line, they're not going to be moving it far.
Just trying to make it, I guess, that much more difficult for the Crimson Storm. Is trying to get it here, 2nd and goal for the Bison. Storm defense trying to get a stop here and hang their hat on this drive.
Second and goal from the 1. Dingle hands off up the middle to Romar Reeds, and he's in for a touchdown. So the 5'8" freshman from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, gets his first touchdown here in Bethany. So that's the 8th rushing touchdown of the ball game for Harding.
I believe all their touchdowns have been off the ground, as now they're up to 327 yards on the ground from about 4 or 5 guys just touching the ball. It's been an impressive day here for this Harding offense.
The extra point is up, and it's good. So with 6:22 remaining here in the 3rd quarter, Harding drives the ball down the field and scores again, 56-7. We'll take a break. We'll be right back here at SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Romar Reeds gets in the end zone for Harding, 56-7. A little over halfway through the 3rd quarter. Fielded by Trevor Smith up the left side. He's going to be hit. Gets out near the 40-yard line. So good field position here for SNU.
Absolutely, Tanner's a good, nice 15 or so yard return from that short pooch kick as the Harding Bison were able to track it down, but able to break a tackle or two and get up the field. Solid position on the left side of the field, just about the 40.
So from the 39-yard line,
Crimson Storm offense getting the play call from Coach Lambert and LaFoon and company will take the field. Looks like we got a new running back here for the Crimson Storm.
Quincy Whitfield
coming back in to relieve Olds for this series.
It's going to be close to get this snap off. They barely get it off LaFoon. Gets it to Whitfield out to the left side.
Trying to make something happen. Gets tracked down by number 42, Sam Blankenship. 6'2" sophomore out of Tulsa Union High School. One of my old teammates actually was an absolute stud in high school playing basketball and football. Made his way here to Harding a couple of years ago. Good looking tackle there by the Bison.
So it'll be a loss of about 2 yards here. Bring up 2nd and 12 for the Crimson Storm offense. Laffoon takes it. Scrambling to his right there. Going to take off running out the right side. Makes a man miss down to the 45. Good pickup there from Laffoon.
And Ja'Cory Nichols there with a nice track down from the other side of the field to come and get Laffoon before he's able to reach that first down marker. He's able to get some of the yards back to make it a manageable 3rd and 4.
Absolutely 3rd and 4 now from the 45. So the 3rd down efficiency for the Crimson Storm tonight. Just 2 for 9. While Harding is 6 for 7. So that just kind of reinstates the dominance Harding has shown on the offensive side of the ball. So here's Laffoon here on 3rd and 4. Fakes the handoff to Carlson. Flag is down. Laffoon gets close to that first down marker. So the line judge here on the SNU sideline was the one who threw the flag. Legal procedure called on the Crimson Storm. So we'll see if the Harding Bison accept this penalty and will replay 3rd down. And indeed they will, so
that's just
moving back 5.
That's just not what you're looking for here for SNU, trying to get something going here. They get some momentum off that nice run by Laffoon and get a near first down, but now there's 6 penalty for now 136 yards against you. Just a tough day for the Storm. There's just a couple of mental errors just add up here, forcing this 3rd and 9.
So here's 3rd and 9. Laffoon from the pistol. Dropping back a screen pass. Oh, and he had Quincy Whitfield out there, but
and Quincy Whitfield had all kinds of space to get that first down and maybe go in for 6. He's able to hold on to that ball.
So just off the hands of Whitfield there, and it's going to be 4th down upcoming here. That's head coach Andy Lambert having a word over here with Alec Laffoon. So Anguiano back out there for the Crimson Storm. While the electric Bassett back to return. Good punt from Anguiano over the head. Takes a good bounce. Bounces inside the 5. SNU.
Ooh,
they get it. Just before it gets into the end zone.
It's a good stop by the Storm.
The ball's going to be at the 1 yard line.
And they do. I believe it's the position of the ball. The defensive
and I think they're going to meet with the. Yeah, they're going to meet with those officials came together and agree that SNU was over the line when they touched that, so it'll come back out to the 20.
If I'm correct, the player that corrals the ball has to be outside of the end zone, correct?
Yes, that is the rule, and
okay.
I think I think the ball took a bounce actually on that line, and it just was too close there.
Mm-hmm.
It can go over the line and come back. You can knock it back in, but if it hits that line, any part of that line, it's ruled dead. And I think that's what it was because SNU was in play.
I think that the line judge just kind of wanted to give SNU a break, but at the end of the day, you got to play by the rules and ball out at the 24. The Bison is this.
Dingle hands it up the middle there. I believe it was Reeds again there up the middle, and he stopped for no gain here as we're under 4 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. For Harding, who it's just been crazy here, Connor, in the 3rd quarter. They've just attempted 1 pass all game.
I mean, why would you need to? You've got a stable of running backs, an incredible offensive line that just absolutely mow people over. Why would you need to pass? As here we go up on the left side for Harding. Number 4.
Brandon Gates takes it up the left side here, making his first appearance in the ball game.
It just goes to show you the type of program that Harding is. They've been in this Division II for a while. They've been in this conference for a while, and they've dominated, and they've shown that here, rushing for probably near 400 yards already. We're not even through the 3rd quarter yet.
So it's going to be 3rd down and 5 upcoming for Harding here. As we said earlier, 6 for 7 in third down efficiency. Dingell's going to take the snap, hand it off up the middle to Gates again, and he gets out past the 30, and it'll be enough for a first down. So from the 31, Harding with a new set of downs. So from the 31, Dingell with it. Hands off up the middle. Reeds has some room out across the 40 to the 45. Another first down. First down here for Harding. Handoff inside for Harding here. I believe that's another new running back, number 25, Colby Webb, the junior from Monroe, Louisiana. Picks up about 9 yards on that carry. Bring up 2nd and 1 as we're now under 2 minutes remaining here in the third. Dingell up the middle again to Reeds, and he gets out across the 45 to the 43. It'll be another first down upcoming for Harding.
No, I tell you, Tanner, this coach for Harding running, who kept Huckabee, I believe that's how you pronounce it, has just come out with an incredible game plan, just ground and pound Crimson Storm defense, saying we're going to keep running until you can stop us. And the Crimson Storm have shown they haven't been able to muster much on defense, and Harding's just been able to make them pay by just keep pounding them.
Yeah, like you said, just 370 yards of rushing for
just 370
for Harding. As SNU said, it's just been that kind of night for Harding. They've just controlled every aspect of the game. Dingell has it. He's going to hand off to Reeds up the right side. He's got some room. Continuing to carry it there as he broke a couple of tackles down to the 21-yard line, as that will more than likely be the last play of the third quarter. As Harding will elect to take a breather here. And indeed it will be the final play of the third quarter. So after 3, our score here in Bethany, Harding 56, Southern Nazarene University 7. We got the fourth quarter for you right around the corner here at SNUathletics.com. We'll be right back. Fourth quarter just about ready to get started here in Bethany. 56-7 Harding leading here. It's a 1st and 10 from the 21. Harding in SNU territory again. As the quarterback, Terrence Dingle, hands off inside. Up to number 4, Brandon Gates, picks up 3 yards on the carry. Harding has converted every time they've been in the red zone so far. 7 rushing touchdowns and 1 kickoff return of 100 yards. Dingle keeps it on the right side there. He's hit, and SNU does a great job there of keeping him in check after about a 2-yard gain.
A good stop there by the Crimson Storm, trying to seize any momentum that Harding has here late in this ball game. Maybe down 56-7, but there's been no sign of quit here by the Storm defense.
3rd down and 4. Dingle steps to the line here from the 15-yard line. Pitch out to Gates on the left side. He's trying to get a block out there, and he's hit out of bounds.
Great stop there by the Crimson Storm.
That was number 21, Mikey McClung, who was able to get out there and make a great tackle out of play there. So that's not going to be enough for the first down, but as we saw earlier in the ball game on a 4th and 1, no hesitation at all from Harding to go for it here. So 4th and 2 from the 13. Dingle, the handoff to Reeds. He's got some room up the middle, and he is going to waltz into the end zone for a touchdown. Romar Reeves, that's his 2nd rushing touchdown of the ball game.
And just a little break in momentum there for the Crimson Storm. They're able to force him to a short 3rd down. Just couldn't hold him and keep him out of the end zone. Touchdown Bison.
So now make that the 8th rushing touchdown for Harding. As Palsy tries to make it 9 for 9 on extra point attempts, and he's got it. So 13:08 remaining in the ball game. Harding leads 63-7. We'll take a break. We'll be right back here at SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Harding kicking off after Romar Reeds waltzed in for his 2nd rushing touchdown tonight. Kickoff goes back into the end zone and over the head of Derek Arrington. Be a new set of downs here for the Crimson Storm, and it looks like Alec LaFoon's night is over at quarterback, and into the ball game will be number 12, Jacob Spady. The 6'5" junior from Hinton, Oklahoma, started last week against Arkansas Tech. Mobile guy, can run the ball and got a pretty decent arm as well. So now, Connor, at this point in the game, it's just all about getting some of these younger guys some experience. Some of these guys in their first ever taste of college football tonight.
So I will see Quincy Whitfield with a nice run up the middle.
He
trying to find some space. Gets about 3 yards on the carry.
Quincy Whitfield, the 5'11" sophomore from Fort Smith, Arkansas. 5'11", 215 Whitfield. He's a big running back in there. Got some playing time last year as a freshman.
Provided some nice sparks there for the Crimson Storm on the rushing attack. Was able to get some good starts. Before the Storm went in, Spady.
Spady gets it to Jonathan Martin on this jet sweep, and Martin going to be forced out of bounds back near the 28-yard line, so it's going to be a loss of a couple of yards here. Third down and 6 from the 29. Spady's got it. Screen pass over here to Whitfield, and off the hands of Whitfield here. And there's a late flag down here as Jonathan Martin and number 24 Isaiah Jefferson were doing a little extracurricular activity there after the play. So the line judge threw it as Jefferson for Harding threw his hands up in the air. And it's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on number 24, Isaiah Jefferson. So that's going to be a 15-yard penalty. And it's going to be a first down upcoming for SNU.
Good break for the Crimson Storm, trying to get something here, pushing it towards the 50. Just put some more points up on the board here and have something to hang their hat on going forward to the next ball game.
So that moves them all the way up to the 43-yard line. So Jacob Spady has it here. Quarterback draw. Spady down out across the 45 to the 46, 47, as once again there's still some more extracurricular activity going on at the line of scrimmage there.
Update for you here around action around the GAC. Southern Arkansas up 20-7 at halftime against Northwest Oklahoma State out in Magnolia. East Central down 27-0 against Henderson State in Ada. And Southeastern Oklahoma State up 24-10 against Ouachita Baptist at the start of the second half. Some good competition. A lot of teams separating themselves from the pack early in conference play.
So Jacob Spady with it, keeps it on the read option there. Spady, great run up the middle there.
Great pickup. Looks like it'll be just short of the first down. And it will be about a yard shy.
Third and short, though, upcoming for SNU. They're in a good spot here. As the left tackle out there for the Crimson Storm, 62 Will House, kind of came up a little hobbling a little bit there, but
that's something you don't want to see for your star left tackle there. And Will House, who went down with an injury last year, and we severely missed him. This run and passing attack for the Crimson Storm. Spady
with it, hands off to Quincy Whitfield. Trying to fight for that yard they need, and it's going to be very close. He got back to the line of scrimmage, but I'm not sure that he got much more than that.
Looks like they're going to put him right about where the first down marker is.
And they're going to stop it, and they're going to get – oh, no, they are just going to say first down.
All right.
Thought we were going to have a measurement out here. But our head referee tonight, Connor, he's really kind of made us think of what he's going to do. You never really know. the night that he's had back there.
You know, I guess he was considering it's like in golf when you get a close putt up to the hole, you just call it a gimme.
So a new set of downs to work with for SNU here. Jacob Spady hands off to Whitfield, hitting the backfield, and that's going to be a loss of yards here for SNU on first down. As the blitz came from Harding, and SNU couldn't handle it. Tyler Thomas, the freshman from Tulsa, Oklahoma, making the play for Harding. Big fella from Jinx.
Yeah, Jinx High School, and Jinx and Union is, I said Sam Blankenship went to Union High School and Tyler Thomas at Jinx. Two powerhouses out in the district of Tulsa, just battling back and forth. Had quite a game last night, as I understand, back in Tulsa, representing here.
You know, Harding's able to get some of those better Tulsa athletes, you know, with being located over there in Arkansas. Not too far of a trip from Tulsa, Oklahoma to Searcy, Arkansas. So
not too bad. Established program is now Jacob Spady trying to get something going here. And
QB draw, Spady looking to make people miss out there, and
it's right about
maybe a yard there.
Be second and about 4 now for Crimson Storm. Just a lot of good athletes on Harding's side of the ball. They have an amazingly established program with the last few years. In Division II, they've been there, done that, so the recruiting has just been phenomenal the last couple of years with the athletes they get, and the size of their running backs is what's really astounding, just absolute trucks in the backfield.
2nd and 4 here from the 40. Some movement at the line here as Spady going to get the call here. Oh, well, now they throw a late flag in there.
And do they call a false start?
I believe that is a false start there.
I'm not sure how, if it was just the smallest of movement, because there were about 3 defenders from Harding that crossed the line of scrimmage. I'm not sure how you don't call that at this stage in the game.
I think the lineman, on the offensive lineman, took his hand off of the ball there, and once he was set, so that's what started it there. And head coach Andy Lambert is going to call a timeout here, his first of the second half, and we'll take one with Coach Lambert. 8:11 left in the ball game. Harding leads 63-7. We'll be right back here at SNUathletics.com. After the timeout here, it's 2nd down and 9 from the 45. It's Jacob Spady. Runs to his right here on a quarterback keeper. Oh, and he gets out of bounds at the 40, and, man, he was hit late there as he stepped out of bounds, and I'm not sure how that wasn't a leg. He was hit there as he took about 2 steps out of bounds.
He was. He had about 3 defenders wrap him up and just throw him out of bounds in the Harding bench. Referees just letting him play today.
3rd down and 4 after Spady runs for 5 yards. Lined up in the shotgun formation. Spady, the pitch out to Whitfield.
Nice
good block out there from
Mark.
Absolutely it was, and there's a face mask penalty. Whitfield, he got the first down, but he's going to get an additional 15. And you said it, Connor. I think that play was all sparked by Jonathan Martin.
Absolutely. Jonathan Martin got all of it and then some with that block. Great play set up Whitfield for the first down, and the face mask call to put him another 15 ahead.
Yeah, Martin came in motion there and did a great job of getting his man inside there so Quincy Whitfield could scoot out to the outside and get the yardage he needed. So after that penalty, they're going to move them up into the red zone here at about the 18-yard line. So SNU looking to make some more noise here on the offensive side of the ball.
You know, they are 1 for 1 in the red zone today with that 20-yard run from Olds. We'll see if they're able to connect here second time around.
So Spady in the backfield here. Throws it up the middle. He's got a man in there, caught at the 10-yard line. The ball comes free, and now Harding has it, and he's down at the 24-yard line. And just unfortunate there for SNU.
I believe that was Derek Gillis on the catch, just fighting for extra yards, and somehow gets the ball ripped away from him, ball back to Harding.
So the ball will go back to Harding in what I believe is the first turnover of the game for the Crimson Storm.
I believe you're right, Tanner. You know, it's just kind of unfortunate mishaps like that kind of get SNU in bad position. They've had some opportunities where the receivers have had their hands on the ball and just couldn't make the grab or a fumble opportunity right here, and Harding's able to take advantage and get the ball back.
So we've got another new quarterback in there for Harding as Reeds takes the ball on the option there up to the 32-yard line, a 10-yard gain, but it's number 10, Dakota Inslee, the 5'11 redshirt freshman from Granbury, Texas. Into the game for Harding here, now under 7 minutes left. The handoff goes inside here. Up the middle for Harding there. I believe it was, number 25, Colby Webb, taking that handoff there down to about the 40. So a pickup of 8 yards there for Colby Webb. So 2nd and 2 here from the 40. Inslee gonna reset here on offense. The pitch out to Kimberlin on the left side. He's got some room up the sideline, and he's got some speed out there down across the 40 to about the 35-yard line. So gain of about 25 yards there for Grant Kimberlin, junior from Mississippi.
Just a solid day put on here by the Harding Bison. As you can see on your stat line there earlier, Park Parrish, kind of the story of the offense, as the quarterback run 13 times, getting 106 yards and 3 touchdowns, just able to keep the chains moving, along with that rushing attack for the Bison.
So another new set of downs here as Inslee going to keep it himself up the middle, across the 30 to the 28. So about a 7-yard gain there for Dakota Inslee in his first carry of the ball game. As Jordan Harding and Stephen Price come back on the field for the Crimson Storm. 2nd and 4 from the 29. Under 5 minutes to go in the ball game.
Inslee just receiving more instructions for the adjustments made to the Crimson Storm defense.
He's going to hand it off on the counter there to Kimberlin. Kimberlin out across the 20. Another first down for Harding. 29 first downs for Harding.
Good night. And 466 rushing yards, total yards really for. We might as well chuck out the passing stats for Harding because they have not passed the ball more than once today. Rushing 466 yards, my goodness. And get this, 6.85 yards per play for Harding. That's almost unheard of for about any college Division II college football team. This Harding team is for real.
So from the 20, Inslee keeps it himself again and met in the middle there by number 22, Justin Britling, and Tristan Slinker. 6-yard pickup there as Harding just keeping the ball on the ground and keeping that clock moving. Gain of about 3 or 4 yards there from Inslee.
You know, one thing I noticed about this defense, Tanner, is that they stay ready. This first-team defense has just been phenomenal as far as their conditioning goes because they don't really see many hands on hips as this play goes right up at the goal line, nearly scoring for Harding. But that, as I was saying, you don't see a lot of hands on hips for SNU, showing that they're tired and that they've been gassed. They're there. They just got to make the right plays and be in the right place at the right time and just kind of construct the game plan and just be more physical up front. And if they're able to do that, they can stay in some ball games here going forward.
Absolutely, as Reeds was one who took that carry down to the 1-yard line here. Under 3 minutes to play, 1st and goal from the 1. It's the play clock nearing 10 here. And Inslee going to take a knee here for Harding. As head coach Ronnie Huckabee is not going to do any more damage to the scoreboard in this one here. That does kind of show you the good sportsmanship showed there by Harding, as they very well could have just taken that yard and put more points up on the board, but
absolutely, the Harding Bison showing they're a class act football program and team is they're just going to continue to take a knee here and run out the clock. Next time you'll see SNU here in Bethany will be next weekend at 6 o'clock, taking on the East Central Tigers. I believe their game against Henderson State is underway here. Still in the first half, down 27-0. Look to see if they can at least get on the board here against Henderson State. Again, one of the top teams in the country, number 9, matter of fact, in the country. Should be quite a battle here in Bethany between the Tigers and the Storm.
Absolutely, as Harding will return home next weekend for a matchup there in Searcy against Southern Arkansas. The Mule Riders will come to town. They're picking up a win tonight, so Harding will move to 2-0 in the conference. SNU will fall to 0-2 in the conference.
And just a kind of a tough start out of the gate for the Crimson Storm, but what they can hang their hat on is that they kept fighting for every possession, extra yards, like Derek Gillis on the last possession. Yes, it did result in a fumble, but he kept fighting for extra yards and just holding on to the ball. But 3 against 1, he's not going to win that battle too often. If they keep fighting under the direction of Coach Lambert, I believe this program is headed in a good direction.
Absolutely. So that's going to be the final play of the ball game. Our final score here in Bethany. The Harding Bison take it 63-7 on this Saturday, September the 10th. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, I believe our sideline reporter Cheyenne Reynolds is going to have an interview down with head coach Andy Lambert. We'll be right back here at SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Tanner Stiles alongside Connor McKenzie. Harding takes this one 63-7. Connor, any final thoughts on this one?
Yeah, what a performance here by the Harding offensive front. That line was just able to move piles. It was just incredible to see. And Park Parrish, a small quarterback that he is at 5'10", 185, was just able to move piles himself and just get behind that offensive line and hand it off to the running backs for run off nearly 500 yards on the ground. Just incredible performance by the Harding offense.
Yeah, you said it. Parrish led the way for Harding there with 3 rushing touchdowns on 13 carries and I believe 100 yards rushing there. So, I mean, it was a pretty dominant performance across the board for Harding. They finished with 478 rushing yards. SNU finishes with just 67 total yards of offense in this one, 61 of those coming on the ground, just 6 passing yards. I think the first downs for me was the biggest aspect of it. Harding had 29 first downs in this ballgame. SNU finishes with just 8. And the time of possession was heavily in Harding's favor there throughout this one. So, yeah, you kind of said it, just the dominance of Harding. We talked about it in the pregame and just a little bit, during the game, of Harding being known as the team that runs the football. And, they pretty much they gritted their teeth and they showed us what they're made of tonight.
Absolutely. Harding just came out with full-on assault, just hitting SNU right in the mouth and just coming out in the second half and returning that kick 100 yards certainly set the tone for how the game was going to go the rest of the way as well, and just ceasing any type of momentum that SNU would hope to have.
Absolutely, Connor. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to hear from our sideline reporter, Cheyenne Reynolds, who's going to have a moment to speak with head coach Annie Lambert. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here at SNUathletics.com.